MS sucks. I know. I've lived with it since 1998, and man, it's been one hell of a roller coaster. When people ask, "How are you doing?" I say, "Fine. Great." Really? Most of the time, it's a lie, because we're programmed to hide our struggles. I'm not a doctor or a researcher. I'm just a normal guy talking from experience. And let me tell you, sharing those experiences with other people living with MS has made my life 100 times better. So get ready for a belly up to the bar, honest conversation with real people who at first hesitate to tell the truth about life with MS, but eventually let it all hang out. I'm your host, Jim Fairchild. How you really doing? I am so excited for this podcast with you guys today. My guests are Robby Blair and LaLa Deaton, two of my favorite people on the planet. So thank you both for being here. I am so excited to be talking to you guys today.
Thank you for having us. We're excited to be here with you.
Thank you very much. It's an honor to be here, brother.
This is magic. It's magic. I feel like I'm in a dream. I honestly do, because it's like I have manifested. I have wanted to live a life with creative, fun people. And you guys are creative, fun people that we're living a life with and we're doing things with. And so it's fantastic.
Woohoo!
Yeah, exactly. Woohoo is right. Okay, so I have thought about how to introduce this multiple ways, multiple times. So I'm going to say a couple things and you guys add to it wherever you like and add to whatever I miss. So Robby, you and I met in Niagara Falls in like September of 2022. And then we saw each other again. All three of us are Dr. Joe Dispenza students. So we are following that healing journey. We are on the healing journey. And then we met again, Robby, in Cancun in December of 22. And that's the first time I heard your music. You gave me your song Life, which I listened to repeatedly before doing the walking meditations and got very motivated. So your song was hitting hard. And then LaLa, we had met in a different breathwork group, the Willful Warrior. And we got connected in January of 2022 or 23 when you listened to Robby's podcast and wanted to get in touch with Robby. And so
your podcast and I was a guest.
Yes. Robby as a guest on your podcast.
Yes, Robby as a guest on my podcast. And then you heard that, and then you wanted to get involved with Dot Connectors and Morning Warriors, which is the meditation group that Robby has started, which we are all a part of now, and it has become family for us, and it's just a beautiful place to be. Then Nashville, Dr. Joe Nashville came up, and that's where I met you in person for the first time, LaLa, in the spring of 23. And then we all went to Marco Island together, the week-long and advanced retreats for Dr. Joe. And then LaLa, you and I just went to San Diego. So we have been to Dr. Joe together many, many times. And in between all that, it's just been magic. We are, meditating 3 times a week together in our meditation group. We are talking on the side. There are no words to express the conversations we have all had together and how much we have supported each other and grown on this path.
Yeah.
And so before I met you, Robby, I had never been involved in the creation of a song before. And now my name is on one of your songs, and my name, Thor, is actually the title of a song. So that's amazing. That has never happened before. And LaLa, before I met you, I had never edited my videos to a musician who I know in person. So there's a lot of firsts going on and a lot of things of stepping into the unknown. So did I miss anything? Well, I missed a lot, but
no, sorry, just because it's fresh in my brain right now. You're also part of the song. You're in the song, Thor. You're the intro to it. You paint the picture of what the song stands for within what your words are.
Yeah, thank you.
You're in it.
Yeah.
Speaking.
I have a speaking part in a song.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, we're going to have you singing in one.
Well,
get ready.
And I am we're really stepping into the unknown, right? Because I am podcasting with two musicians, and I am ignorant when it comes to music. I know what I like, but I don't know much more than that. So to be involved with you guys is just an absolute blessing. So thank you again for being here. And this is just, we have so much to talk about. And of all the things that I just mentioned, we're not talking about any of those.
Well, I had that in my notes, but you mentioned it, so I won't bring it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
What you just
And
said,
we have,
everything you just said is insane.
well, it's just to be on this journey with people is so fun. And that leads us to what I do want to talk about with you guys today is your Love album coming out. And the album the title is Love to the album. And there's 15 songs that you guys have collaborated on over the course of a year and a half. And it's just magical. So did you ever see that coming a year and a half ago?
No, but just because we didn't know each other, you know. And neither do I. It's weird because I feel like we're not doing anything. Like, I've made music for a very long time, and I've always felt like I was making music. I don't feel that at all right now. It's just coming out, right? It's just this effortless, like, it's just this love that they're just with my hand, like that. Like, I was doing the infinity sign. There's this flow that's happening right now, and what's crazy is that the story of me and LaLa and how all this got created all started from what you started this conversation with, right? It all started with your podcast, and it never stopped. It just the breadcrumbs until they became loaves of bread or pieces of bread. And no, sorry, LaLa.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. You finished your thought?
No, you're good. I'm just winging it.
Oh, well, I was just going to say what's interesting, since we're talking about this, what's interesting to me about the collaborations with Robby, I've been, collaborating in songwriting for years.
Right.
Here in Nashville, co-writing is a big thing. And, typically we all sit down in a room together and someone throws out, and a hook idea that will ramp on, or, it could be a lyrical hook idea. It could be like a melodic hook idea. And then, several of us might throw out ideas, and then we decide, hey, I kind of like that. Let's go with that. And it's been a completely different process of songwriting with Robby, but it's been such a cool experience, in a totally different way. Because we wrote, have never being in the same room together, which it's not uncommon these days to like have a write over Zoom, but we didn't even do it like that.
Yeah.
He would write his part and have like ideas of a framework for, what he wanted. And then I would take it from there, make sure I incorporated any ideas he wanted, and then go to town with, ideas that I had from just being inspired by what he had done. And it's been just the coolest, experience collaborating together. I had never, worked with a hip hop artist before. So
that was the next thing I was going to say, is that the genres you guys are coming from are like opposite end of the spectrum too.
Yes.
Well, my genres, I'm kind of all over the map, because I write, I write country, I write pop, I write big band jazz. And, so this, it's not that much of a stretch for me. Especially, having grown up on rock and roll and pop music.
Right. But how about hip hop? Have you ever done anything with hip hop before? Like Robby Blair?
I had not. So yeah, so it was definitely an awesome, cool, new, groovy bitchin' experience.
Well,
sorry, Thor.
No, I love the transition, the transformation that has happened with your music, Robby, especially.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, me too.
yeah, because I have not listened to a lot of your hip hop music, but one song I did listen to is so different than the lyrics that you use now. I think the lyric or the chorus was something like, "I'll punch you in the fucking face. I'll punch you in the fucking face. I'll punch you in the fucking face."
That's actually verbatim.
That's verbatim. And now you're talking about quantum and love and swimming like a school of fish or a flock of birds, and you're talking about love and you're talking about life and changing the world. So, did you ever see this coming?
Yes, but no. It's like it's weird because in a non-musical explanation, like I've always known who I am, but ever since this, my life experience, I've had these crazy experiences my whole life, but I've always known who I am. But I just realized in the last 2 years is the first time I'm actually implementing who I am to the world.
Ooh, I like that.
And and that I'm like, but you don't realize it because you always know who you are, right? But then you realize, you're around negative energy, it affects you. And then once you meet your collective group that are on the same vibration and frequency,
yeah.
You're like, oh my God, I'm being myself. And I don't not like people. I like being around people. It had nothing to do with that. It had more so to do with what you surrounded yourself by. So yeah, it's like back to the music part, it's no, music wise, no way that I ever think I ever could create music like this. I was at the Niagara event, and my friend Rod and Candace, they're Mormons from Utah, and Rod came up to me, and I curse a lot, and I don't mean to. I don't curse as much as I used to because I really don't curse, but it comes out for exclamation points sometimes. It's like, dude, I don't know what it is. Like, my wife can't stand cursing, but for some reason, when you curse, it doesn't bother her, and somehow that formulated into the thought process within a meditation of me switching my music over and then saying, holy shit, I'm gonna be performing here. I gotta figure out a way, because there's never been a time I've made music. Like, small example, like I'm gonna be doing a show in the building. I'm pointing this way because I live in the building and that's where it's gonna be. Like, I'm gonna do a concert here midsummer, Ed Summer with LaLa. These things never entered my mind because I understood I was in a specific group of how I spoke. It was offensive to certain people.
Right.
Oh, this is just love, man. But I'm not saying anything different. I'm just speaking a different language. That's what it is. So,
and I think it's amazing. And I think that really speaks to the changes that we've all gone through in our lives. In this Dr. Joe work, it's about change. You change your energy to change your life. And your energy has changed in order to find the people around you now that listen to what you listen to. And I mean, you may not have been able to have a hip hop concert in your apartment complex like you can a love concert. It's really a different audience.
You got kids, you got family, you got everybody, like that's what's beautiful about it, because music is the language of the world. Music is sound and vibration. It's the language of the world. It's sound, vibration, and the true purpose of music is to uplift, inspire, and heal. It's been numbed down. I won't say dumbed down anymore because it is negative, but music's been numbed down. Dancing, like I say this a lot, dancing is fun, but it's a very numbed down version of what music and sound is supposed to do for a human divine being.
Yeah.
And that's what LaLa are bringing back.
Oh, and boy, are you guys ever, because this album Love that you guys have created and the full sensory experience that you guys have created is
with Ryan Flame. Yep.
Yes, with Ryan Flame, who is your sister, who teaches Kundalini yoga in this practice. And that is magical in her own right. And I hope to have her on my next episode to talk about her, and her part in this. And again, I was thinking about how to try to explain this experience to people as a podcast host and how to say that. So, Robby, I'm going to read some of your words and kind of to introduce what Love, the album, is. And then I'd like to go off of that and go from there. So, and let me ask you this. Do you know of anybody that has done an album like this, like a full sensory experience like this?
So, no, but I am noticing that people are using sound and vibration and frequency and meditation, the way that me, LaLa, and my sister are doing it is like we're taking the music that you would hear on the radio and completely deconstructing it into a meditation, like a guided meditation form.
Mm-hmm.
But you go, like, you get the sound bed, sound healing, sound baths. You go on these beds now. They got these eye things that vibrate your brain, and you listen to sound. But the way that we're doing it, not even close. Like what we're doing, it's again, everything's preference, but we're guiding with music. Like, and what's doing it is it's nostalgia, adrenaline, and love that are like these secret ingredients that we're indirectly doing because we already know everything, right? Like we're doing stuff that we don't realize what we're doing basically, and we're doing it. Like it's like, seriously, like, because what the project, and I want to hear what you have to say, and then I'll stop talking. But what the project was from day one is not what it is right now.
Right.
It's like a snippet of what it is right now.
Well, and as Dr. Joe students and just students of work and all the work that we're doing, there's such magic in frequency and vibration and things that, like you said, Robby, have been lost in translation. They've been lost in music for a while, and it's great to bring it back, and including kaleidoscopes or quantum scopes, as you call them. And first of all, let me read this, and these are your words, Robby, about Love, the album, as a full sensory experience. Love, a full sensory experience, a completely new way to experience, feel, and hear music that will connect you to your truest self. Full sensory experience is a 1-hour guided musical mantra journey, combining soulful lyrics with mesmerizing quantum scopes, kaleidoscopes, meditations, and powerful breath work. By combining these 3 powerful tools, you plant the seed to uplift, inspire, and motivate yourself to your fullest, truest potential. Feel and observe this full sensory experience through the music, your breath, the words, the patterns, the cadence, the vibrations, the colors. Feel it all.
I wrote that?
Yeah.
Woo!
Damn, sign me up for that, dude.
Yeah.
Sign me up for that.
Great description, Robby.
Yeah, and I couldn't I was trying to explain that, because the other thing is that well, just going off of that description, what is the feeling? What is the feeling behind this album? Where did it come from? Can you guys talk about the genesis of this album and like where it came from, the feelings behind it?
Yeah, LaLa, really quick, let me just say something. So lost my train of thought. It had something to do with a couple minutes ago, so never mind. So you mean how this all came to fruition is what you mean?
Yeah, because there's a lot of feeling in this album. There's a lot of emotion in this album. Every song, I think, has a story behind it. So there, and did you know that going in that you're going to create this? Because the two of you and Ryan have created something magical.
LaLa, do you want to take it with the retreat? Like, it's again, this is a very confusing story that you turn into a linear story because there's so many dots that connect.
Right.
It was right. You go back in time.
Yeah. Magic like this doesn't just
like
happen.
It started because of your podcast. That's how it started.
Wow.
Yeah, and I don't think when we first, started, it wasn't even necessarily the idea. Correct me if I'm wrong, Robby, but we could just kind of started like one song at a time. Like we weren't, I think it was pretty quick early on that we realized, hey, we wanted to do a whole album together.
Yes.
And we wanted to keep going. Like every time we would do something, we would, Robby, you would say something like, well, if you want to do more, and I was always like, yes, let's do more. And we just kept, like it was just, it was exciting and it was easy. And, Robby would, he would send me just like musical ideas too and say, hey, what do you feel like? Does this feel good to you? And, it's something that I kind of think that we could groove on or whatever. And it just always came together really easily.
Yeah, key point right there. And it wasn't like we were trying to make it easy. It was because we were moving in the same flow of life. And that's why, literally, like, this is what I mean. And this goes to what you were saying earlier, LaLa. The reason why this has been so about the process, and nothing, like, every process is fine, right? Like, but the difference of the process of what we're doing now compared to what you've done in the past and I've done in the past is there was no thought involved. We were moving forward. Like, literally, I've sent her, like, let's say, like 20 beats. There was one she didn't like. I was like, all right, let's keep moving. You know what I mean? I was like, if we're not going to click on it, let's go. You know what I mean? There's no stop, talk, boom. Like, there was just this connectivity between me and LaLa. And I actually remember exactly what instrumental she didn't like because it was the only one.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not getting that oomph. I was like, enough said. I was like, every time you've had that oomph feel every time. I was like, we need to, like, talk about it. You know what I mean? So it was that energy that we had together. It was there. You know what I mean?
Well, that was also, it was fun to be able to, like, back to the creative process. I, this was my first time really writing to a beat, writing to beats that he was sending to me. Because normally, like I said, I would, either write a song by myself or get in a room and co-write. And then from there, you've got like a guitar, at the end of the co-write, someone, one of us will play guitar and do a work tape. Maybe someone will play guitar, someone else will sing it, or someone will play guitar and sing it, and you record that in your voice memo on your phone, and that's your work tape. And then from there, that gets produced, if you're going to demo it, to pitch it, or for the artist that you wrote it with, or what have you. So it's a process of, like, kind of starting from complete scratch and then building from there. So this was different because you get inspired in a different way when you're working with a creative beat that's been created, And then Robby, he's a brilliant rapper and just has, like, the most amazing sense and feel for a cadence, and just the really catchy,
absolutely,
rhythmic, amazing ways of working with words and making them fit together and rhyme and
mean something. And then with, I mean, Robby's hip hop and your angelic voice just fit together so well, and it just the emotions that you guys touch on in these songs is beautiful because it's the beats and the feelings and the breath and the words. Like, the first time when we did this live, I had amazing feelings going on with the visuals, and the words just hit me in this magical way. I mean, I've heard them before, but they just hit me in a magical way.
Because they were positioned differently, because you weren't listening as music, you were listening as a guided meditation. It's because you're positioned in a different way. Like, here's a great example of that is, like, I watch my QuantumScopes when I'm on the treadmill, or if I'm on the Stairmaster or elliptical. I'm not trying to go in. My intent is not to go to another world. I'm not breathing. It's to keep myself focused and not to take my mind, let my mind take over. So it's the intent behind the music and what it's positioned for. That's why. And that's what, and again, this is what happened. These are things that I realized after doing it, right? Like, oh, that's why it was different. You figure it out after. Sorry, I heard what you said, and it was I noticed that because I started doing that the other day, of how I was like, how am I able to look at these? Is it because you're looking at it differently and you're tense differently and you're not heavy breathing? And
well, and with that in mind, would you guys say that the work that you're doing in the Dr. Joe world with vibration and frequency and healing has been able to connect you guys in a different way?
Yes.
100%.
Yeah, which is a beautiful part of this that just speaks to this work of vibration and frequency and everything we're learning. And the other question I had is, was this divinely felt? I mean, did you feel this divinely, or did you really think about it? And I think you kind of answered that, but I want to ask that again. Did this come through you, Robby and LaLa? Was this channeled through you?
I definitely feel like it was, I mean, like I said, the process of this, from the musical standpoint, was astonishingly, of ease. It was very smooth.
Yeah,
and at least our part of it, and so I think that it definitely, we are the creator experiencing itself through us. So it's, of course, it's divinely inspired, and getting to work with Robby and Ryan on this in such a big way, in such a healing way, it gives purpose, so much more purpose to any music that I've ever made.
Yeah. Double
it's,
down on that. I completely agree with me as well.
And how about the feedback you guys have gotten? What has the feedback been?
It's been amazing. Can I go?
Yes, please. Yes, please go off anything. Yep.
Saying, so I'm going to talk this is what divine is, right? Like, we threw the retreat in last summer in Maine, the Summer of Love. My sister just said, "Oh my God, Robby, it's like your song High was made for Breath of Fire." So then, like, she did this breath work to my song High, which it literally sounded like she did this breath work. It's like I wrote it for what she did, which the idea in my head, which, now fast forward, that idea is not even there yet. Fast forward, Faye, who we both all know, Faye, transitioned. I wrote a song, Fly Away and Dance With Me. I was like, this needs something different. This needs a woman's voice. This needs some touch. And then I'm like, oh my God, I just met LaLa. She sings. She's from Nashville. She's really creative. I heard her music. She has this beautiful voice. So I said, hey, you want to do this really quickly? And so there you go. So then we have the one song, and then we have my sister with the breath. So now fast forward to like last summer, the beginning or end of last summer, where we got asked to perform after the Summer of Love. We got asked to do another retreat. I was like, you know what? I was like, it would be cool. It would be better if, instead of us doing 5-song single, one of us in the middle together, and then 5-song single, why don't we make more songs together? Oh, my hand just raised on the screen. Sorry. Why don't we make one more song? So if that didn't happen, then this never would have happened. Like if my sister didn't say that about the breath, then that's what created the flow of creating more than one song, even though we probably would have anyway, just a different avenue.
Right.
But then all of a sudden I'm like thinking about what my sister said, and then how me and LaLa sound. And I'm like, yo, these words are like words of affirmation. And it created itself. Divine, exactly what you just said, dude.
Yeah.
It really created itself. All it took was us let it happen, but also pay attention. Sorry,
don't
seriously, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
you can stop saying sorry. There's nothing to be sorry about.
I'm not. Yeah.
We talk about that.
I'm always on him about that.
I know. Stop saying sorry. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Yeah. Keep on talking, Robby. Keep on talking. Yeah. And that's the beauty. That's what it really is amazing to me what you guys have created by not creating anything, by creating everything. And it's just, it happened.
Yeah.
And, like I've mentioned, each song has a story behind it. Like one was written for Faye, and one was written for Steven, who had a healing at a Dr. Joe event and all of a sudden could hear again. Yeah. And there's a song, I have a hard time saying one of my favorites because I have so many favorites of your guys' songs, but the song I Am, it gets me every time.
You at the show singing it? Video singing it?
Yeah, there's a video of me at Dr. Joe, And it's so magical because your guys' songs have been played at Dr. Joe events, at the live events. And so I was at Dr. Joe, and the song I Am came on in the ballroom. And that's my buddy singing that song. It was just phenomenal. I mean, it's such a magical feeling to be involved in this, and to know you guys and to see this come to fruition. So
I'll
yeah.
never forget when it was the first Walk for the World meditation.
Yeah.
And I guess Encephalon must have put together this this slideshow video show to promote the Walk for the World event, and then they posted it on Dr. Joe's socials, and and I was watching it, and I all of a sudden it gets partway through, and there's this video portion of it where Dr. Joe is on the beach and all these people are walking. It's during a walking meditation, probably in Cancun.
It was,
and Dr. Joe's standing like I can't
like he does
like this.
Yep.
He's like this on the beach.
Yep, I remember
and
that.
They start playing our song, and I'm like fumbling for my phone. I'm like trying to video record the screen because Dr. Joe's like this, and they're playing I Am, and he goes like that, like I see you, and it was just very surreal.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Dr. Joe. Thank you,
everybody.
Andrew and Lisa.
Yeah.
His amazing audio team.
Yeah. Really.
Audio video team.
Well,
and producer.
And producer of the Source documentary and all kinds of good stuff. So it really is. There's so many dots that have connected. I love the name of our meditation group, the Dot Connectors, because so many dots have had to connect in order to make this happen. And it's just, you can't make this stuff up. What you guys have created now is something that was supposed to be made, I believe. And that again takes me back to what is, well, let me ask you this first. Can you guys, for those people who have not experienced the Love experience, your album, can you kind of explain the flow of it, how it works? And it's an hour and a half meditation, guided meditation. But can you kind of explain how that works and what happens in that process?
Yes. LaLa, you mind if I take this?
Yeah, you go ahead and take it. I might want to interject a little bit of
Perfect. I'll put, just because it's literally on the tip of my tongue right now. So so Love is a full sensory experience. You incorporate breath work, Kundalini breath work, QuantumScopes, which are kaleidoscopes, and then and music, which is the backbone, the guided for it. So it's broken up. You get the album as music alone. You can listen to it as music, just like music is the way you hear it, Spotify, Apple. And then you also hear the music with a custom created kaleidoscope, QuantumScope that I create, that you could either listen all the way through. Every song has an emotion that you're gonna want to tap into. So if you're in need of love, there's songs for you to look at with that. If you're in need of inspiration, if you need to be uplifted, if you want to send love, if you want to give people love, whatever it is, there's 1 through 8 on the chakras. This is what it taps into within the music. So you can break it down by song within the QuantumScopes, or you can listen all the way through, because it is a full journey. But then you have the breathwork journey, which is what my sister Ryan Flame created. And that's a mantra, which is broken up in 3 parts, which is beginning, middle, and end. So it's a full journey again. The full journey is from the root through the heart all the way to the crown and then back to the heart. So this is what's crazy about it. Again, like I told you, my sister with the song High, it's as if it's as if she did the breath and then me and LaLa wrote the music around it. It's because, again, it was divine. It wasn't us doing this shit, And so it's a guided meditation through music. And my sister cues you in with the breaths that you're going to do. And don't worry if you never did it. So she breaks it down so beautifully for introductory, as well as steps it up for the enhanced. So you'll go to the moon if you're enhanced. You'll go to the moon if you're a beginner too. But but it's there for you. She's gonna hold your hand to make sure you know what you're doing. Okay, so you either listen for the full journey with the breath work, or you break it up in 3, beginning, middle, end, or you can listen to it independently, like I just said with the QuantumScopes. So to recap what I just said, it's 15 songs. You listen to it like music. You could listen to it and watch QuantumScopes with it, or you could do the breathwork journey with it. At the end of the day, this is what it uplifts, inspires. This is the seed plant that we're doing. We're utilizing nostalgia, adrenaline, and love, which are like what we put in these seeds that we put in our pockets. They're capsules that we're utilizing to grow from. Think of nostalgia. Think of think of how you feel when a memory comes back. You get the goosebumps with music, movies, whatever it is, just to give you context. We're taking all that, putting it in a bubble, utilizing it as the seed for you to feel all the time. We figured it out indirectly how to do this, and it's helping people heal. It gets people, like I just said, motivated, uplifted, but it's also depression, suicidal people, disease, all these things that it's doing for people. I'm missing a lot of them too, by the way. I'm just trying to get this out.
Sleep. So many people have told us that after they've done it, that they slept like a baby for the first time in a long time.
Yes, that's the most we've gotten. And you were asking about feedback before. I won't forget. We won't say it now. But yeah, so there's a quick synopsis of what it is. And LaLa, please obviously add to it.
That was beautiful. That was brilliant description of it. It's really hard to kind of like describe what it feels like to go through the experience. It was new for me, the first time that I did it, and the quantum scopes take you to such a different level. It was amazing to me. I didn't expect where the quantum scopes took me. And that's all a Robby thing. I mean, that's brilliant. He creates those from scratch to, I don't know how you do it, but
neither do I. I'm a video guy and I don't know how you do it. So yeah, it's pretty magic.
But they're just created so beautifully to move with the music, the vibration of the music. And
it brings in colors, and it brings in different textures, and it brings in a whole different level of feeling. I'm sorry to interrupt, LaLa.
No, it's fine. I agree. All of that. It's very hypnotic. It puts you into a state. It puts you into a trance-like state, which is very beneficial if you want to create things, if you want to stop the monkey mind, if you want to go somewhere and have a mystical experience. Did you want to interject, Robby?
How dots connect. It's because, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but it has to do with what you're saying. And this part doesn't sound like it's gonna. So the whole way that they got started, shout out to Dr. Joe, because Dr. Joe makes these incredible kaleidoscopes. This is a completely different thing. His are so systematic, geometrical, mathematical, scientific, how he does it. I'm doing it to the cadence of the music. But the way that it got started was I'm not going to say his name, a very famous athlete who I became friends with at Nashville 2022. Me and him, we hung out a lot at the event. He's like, damn, I really wish Dr. Joe made more kaleidoscopes. So I was like, oh shit, I feel like I might be able to create one. Let me I made music. So I was like, I just sent it to him. I was like, hey, you wanted some stuff? I threw some Dr. Joe in it. So that's what created this. But then the understanding of it came from one of the retreats that I threw last year in Cape Cod, from when me and LaLa did a polar plunge together. And I realized the fact of us staring in each other's eyes. I was like, LaLa, stare. I was like, I don't know what's happening. I was like, when you're looking in my eyes, I don't feel anything.
Polar plunge in the ocean, by the way, up in like Cape Cod. It was cold.
Water, but it was all good. We hung out. We were in there for 10 minutes with Michael and Angela. Shout out to the mermaid.
That was brave of all you guys. I remember that.
So that goes to the QuantumScopes, where the focus that I'm like just looking at the center of it, like you looked at LaLa on the water. Like I'm like, it's again, we know everything, we don't realize what we know. So it's all dot connecting, putting together. Sorry, that was just got me excited when you said that, LaLa. I don't even remember what we were talking about. My bad.
Don't be sorry.
Don't be sorry. We're by the
We're
end of this podcast.
We're gonna break you of that one.
By the end of the podcast, you'll stop saying sorry, I hope.
Well,
but yeah, it's just the QuantumScopes themselves just take you to a different level.
They do, for sure.
Know, and then what Ryan put together and takes you through is wow. It's next level. It's if you've never done breath work before, like Robby said, she guides you completely through this and explains every process along the way. So you don't have to worry about, oh, I've never done this before. But you will experience things in your body that you've never felt before. And you're going to experience
what you're supposed to always feel.
Correct. You're going to experience chemical releases that you've never felt before. And chemical releases that are resetting your cells at a cellular level, at a baseline level, you know, doing amazing things within your body.
Yeah.
And the combination, I've done Kundalini yoga before. I've done different types of breath work before. I've done, you know, I've created music before, but I had never experienced all of these things together.
Yeah.
And what they do in your body, you know, vibration is, we're coming into a time when vibration and frequency is going to be used for so many different things. They're finding out that you know, frequency can cure all kinds of diseases. It can be honed in at a cellular level.
Yes.
And but you know, we've known for a long time that a voice could shatter glass, right? I remember a commercial when I was little.
Vox.
Yeah, or something. Yeah. Was that what it was?
I think it was.
Oh man, I remember that one too.
Yeah, but or was that the Memorex? Is it Live or is it Memorex commercial? I don't remember. Anyway, but anyway, so you know, frequency and vibration is going to be so important. I mean, they're already using sound vibration in so many ways.
Yeah.
You know, tuning forks to, you know, for healing and sound bowls and they're finding out that you can levitate things with sound. You can with frequency. You can move objects with frequency. You can shatter tumors with frequency. You know, it's amazing what you can do. And when you combine these things with other modalities like we're doing, I just think that the sky's the limit to, you know, the healing that can take place.
Agreed.
Absolutely. Really. And I thank you for saying it that way, LaLa, because I wanted to talk about the science of it, and you just did a great job, because there's so much happening in the world around us right now that is opening up doors, and this, you know, the way what you guys are doing is opening up doors, I think, for the collective in a way that you guys are opening up things for people that haven't been able to sleep, or that, you know, people that to experience things differently.
Yeah. And I want to say something really quick, sorry, about what you just said with the sleep thing, which is so cool, because it's such the contradiction in the paradigm of life, right? We're utilizing adrenaline so you can be tired, right? Like these are the things that we're doing. We're getting you excited. We're not getting you pumped and you're like, oh, I can't sleep. We're getting this energy out of you so you can, you know, different situations. Sorry, you pinged something in my brain. Or not sorry, but
Thank you. Not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry.
An awful lot.
Yep.
What do you want me to say?
Yep. If that's what I said something so that I could ping something in your brain. So that's exactly what it was supposed to do. So it worked. It worked. So I want to read this list of benefits that again, Robby, you had written down. So I want to read these, and because you had mentioned a couple of them, but it's like, wow, and list of benefits: better sleep, clear mind, emotional release, sweat, cry, laugh, emotions, creativity activator, lucid dreaming, self-confidence, direction, inspiration, motivation, focus with intent, weight loss, battle depression, sobriety, and upgrade the nervous system are some of the things.
And ADD.
And those are, those are some of the things that this is helping with, and that's the science behind the healing of music and of light and of frequency and of vibration. So congratulations on making something so cool.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks, man. And I want to go off of what LaLa was just saying with the music, because it ties into what you just said. Like, you'll know what I'm talking about just from a Dr. Joe event. Like, he plays this video of Mozart. It says Mozart playing a certain frequency, and this is the healing frequency of cancer. Right? It's like, in our simple brains now, we're using our brains, right? This is my own experience with that video. So I see that, the first thing I think is like, oh, wow, I wonder if he knew what he was doing. Of course he knew what he was doing. We've been so dumbed down and numbed down that we've completely misunderstood what the purpose is of what we're doing with this music and the sound and the vibration. LaLa just said it. It cures, it heals. Sound was like a medicine, like, I'm not, honestly, how I'm not going to go down a rabbit hole with
right.
History has been so lied about. Like, I guarantee Mozart was a freaking doctor. And he just, like, they understood what they were doing with
differently.
They didn't have these brains. They weren't. So yeah, there's such a purpose behind it, and it's such a responsibility to create music. Look at I won't even say the state of the world. Look at the state of the world that's being shown to the world, I'll say, because it's not how it was. They want you to feel like it's falling apart, and the music has a lot to do with it, man. Look at the state of it.
Well, and to go off of that, and it can be a total conspiracy theory. The whole 432 hertz is
not
right, and now music is made at 440 hertz, which 432 hertz is a much more natural way to make music. So, did you guys make this Love album in 432 hertz?
So no, so here's the thing. If we did, it was probably here's the thing, actually. It probably was, and we did it indirectly. No, I'm being silly, because because this is what I'm saying. We all have the answers, and the journey is the question. So we're doing things that we don't. This is why we're the creation of what me, LaLa, and my sister are making. It's ever evolving, because we keep bumping into things that we're learning too on this journey. So it was indirectly, but
I've had someone else ask me that, and Robby, I've been meaning to bring this up, because we hadn't really talked about this at all, but it really would not, I don't think it would be, I don't know, it might be an interesting thing to check into, to see if it could be
like tweaked into it.
Yeah,
it's a good idea.
Can you guys, as musicians, can you explain 432 hertz versus 440 hertz?
Just
432 is going to sound just a little bit flatter. I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just like pitch wise. If I have my guitar on me, I would just show you.
But
I guess, and the difference between how 432 is better for the body than 440.
Yeah. So think about it this way with light. Think about it in light bulbs. Okay, like you could put a classroom with very bright lights, or you could put dim lights. If you put dim lights, you're going to get very slouchy, sluggish children. You put bright lights, you're going to get these kids activated, moving. It's the same. It's that slight little difference that can do so much. In the shift of where a person thinks they're having free will, but they ain't got no. They're completely manipulating your free will.
Yeah.
Sorry, LaLa, go ahead.
It's such a slight difference in the tone when you hear it, in the pitch, that to the common ear that maybe isn't a musician,
Yeah.
they might not be able to hear it with their ear, but they may be able to feel it on a cellular level.
And I think that's like when you talk conspiracy theory, that was changed so that people aren't feeling the healing powers of music like they used to. That's the conspiracy of that, is that, you know, the governments have changed that, and that's how it has become a standardized unit of making music, but it's just not as good for the body. So by learning that and knowing how important frequency is, which is what you guys are doing with the Love album, you're teaching people to be able to notice that for themselves.
Exactly. It's direct and indirect with how it's being brought to them. Because like, if you think about, like, just like I said it again, it's nostalgia, that I always bring it back to nostalgia. I always take myself back to the time when I was in sales, and I always put a song on to get me excited. You know?
Right.
Why don't I feel like that all the time? There's no reason I shouldn't feel that way all the time. So it's taking that and indirectly, you know, inserting that seed into people's brains, minds, vibrations, and all that.
Yeah. You know, on a personal note, I'd like to talk about the first time you did this live. Well, it's not a personal note because there's a lot of people there, but the first time you guys did this live, you, Ryan, and LaLa all hosted a party, basically a Zoom party, and played the whole album. And it was magical for me. I mean, it was absolutely magical where I went. And you know, I've been doing breath work. I've been doing Dr. Joe meditations. I've been doing things. This was different. It really was different. And I was very tapped in, you know, that adrenaline, my body was zooming. And, you know, it's for a guy in a wheelchair like I am, yeah, I just wanted to stand up and fly. I wanted to fly. You know, the energy was just amazing. And I just know that it's so good for my body.
Yeah.
And I had lots of mystical experiences during this, where like one of them was looking at the kaleidoscope. There's all kinds of dots that were making up the kaleidoscope, all these little dots. And all of a sudden, all the dots started coming in at different frequencies for me. And they started coming in different patterns for me. And they started coming into my body. So the dots were coming into my body and into my cells and changing my cells as I was listening to the music, watching the colors, and the colors were like vibrating through me. And the QuantumScope was all around me. I'm watching it on my computer, but by staring at it, it became all around me. It was surrounding me with the dots in every cell of my body. And they were all of a sudden they were talking, and your guys' words, the words that you say during the songs elicit emotion. And as we know, emotion is energy in motion. So we're trying to change our energy, and I'm trying to change the energy that I grew up with, or the old diseased energy in me. And that is being released with these QuantumScopes, with the words, with the energy that you guys are creating. So it was a magical experience that first time, and I've done it 3 times total, and every time it's taken me to a different place. So I hope everybody gets to experience this. The world really needs to experience this album. It really does, and to share the love that you guys are sharing is just the way. This is how you change the world. So yes, that's what's happened. And I don't know what the question is right there, but it is just more of a gratitude for what I've experienced so far, and the fact that I want more people to experience this, like not like I did, because it'll be different for everybody, but it's a magical experience.
Well, thank you. I feel gratitude just hearing you speak of it the way you are.
Yeah. Well, and it's, you know, that first time, that first live event that we watched, there was, I don't know, I think there was 31 of us on event or something like that. And then afterwards, after we were done with the whole thing, an hour and a half, there was like 12 of us that stayed on the Zoom for like 3 hours. And we were like a
replay.
What's that?
Replay.
Oh, was that a replay?
That was the replay. Yes. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so
exactly what you're talking about. We didn't go to bed till like 2.
Oh my God.
Wait, was that the replay?
Yeah, it was the replay.
No, I thought that was the live one. The very first one you guys did were.
Oh, live. I was with my sister. And
yeah.
Like
yeah. That's the.
There were.
It was.
One, we had people stay behind on that one too.
Yeah, no, but this one there was like 30 people that you're referring to, where people from Europe were on it. And I remember out of my mind a little bit. I was feeling good that night, and it lasted a while. My mind.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we all stayed on the phone for like 3 hours, and we were like a bunch of teenagers that didn't want to get off the phone. No, you hang up first. No, you hang up first. No, you hang up first. Nobody wanted to get off the phone. It was just love, man. Love was being shared, and it was Zoom love. It was connected love. It was happy love, and what a magical thing to share with the world right now.
Yeah, no kidding. The world needs it.
Yeah.
You know.
So how do you guys feel? How do you feel sharing something like this that you've created? What as an artist, what's it like to create something like this that the world needs and is getting, and that you're putting out there?
It's amazing to have so much purpose behind it, like to have something that you're doing on a creative level be so purpose driven, you know, on a heart level.
Yeah.
And we're, you know, so much of this all of this work that we're doing, I don't even like to call it work.
Yeah.
You know, we can make this fun, we can make this playful, we can make this enjoyable. It can be enjoyable to heal, you know, and incorporating music into, you know, the physical practices that we're doing and the emotional and spiritual practices that we're doing. To me, it brings an element of pleasure into it, you know, that hasn't necessarily been done before. And so it feels really good. It feels, and just to get the feedback from people that it's, you know, impacting their lives, and also just like building a tribe, you know. I don't mean that as like a, you know, an exclusive, a clique or anything like that. It's like all are welcome. Let's all come together, you know, and create this beautiful space where we can all, you know, like-minded, all be together and heal. How cool is it to heal together? How fucking cool is that?
It is gorgeous, and it's a gift.
You know?
And I think all three of us have lived a life where we felt separate from other people. We felt a bit different from other people. And now that tribe, I don't think it's exclusory. I don't know, exclusive at all.
I always joke that we're like the land of the misfit toys.
Right.
It's like, you know, we've come from far and wide, you know, people that have felt like they've never fit in or had been bullied or, you know, whatever. So, you know, socially awkward, whatever it might be, you know, on the spectrum. You know, we have people from all walks of life that are, you know, finding their tribe because it's just all about love. And, you know, and there are no prerequisites.
You are not alone, baby. Yeah. What it is. That's what we're learning, right? Like, I used to think I just didn't like people, and I love people. Sorry, I take that back. I used to think I didn't like hanging around people. Like go to the movies by myself. I haven't been to the movies in like 15 years, but like I always did things like by myself, and I never understood it until I was around like-minded people. And the difference, this is like the world that we're waking up right now, is there's one big bubble, and they basically have this, it's not a thought, it's a told. And then you got this nothing, and then a bunch of little people that just think a certain way, and then we all just end up bumping into each other. like we're not forcing our relationships, we're finding our relationships. It's like this magnetic pole that we find that's bringing us all together. And things like love is going to just excel that speed for us to just keep meeting more like-minded divine individuals that we've been bumping into for the last 2 years. It's really special. It's really special. It's not a sport anymore. You know, making music isn't like a sport where you used to be skill sets and stuff. Now it's just absorb what's being downloaded and just let it out. Like, I'm not, no joke, I can't wait to make it the next album with LaLa. Like, I wish promotion and stuff didn't get in the way, because me and LaLa would just keep creating, but you have to actually, like, you know, push what you're doing. So we have to spend time there right now. But like, dude, like the creativity, it just doesn't stop. And the creativity, love, that's what it's not, you know, it's not like I'm trying to make something for myself. It's let's create to bring everything together. Like,
yeah.
I had to stop in the middle of a meditation. Was it yesterday? My days are running together. Was it last night? What?
I don't know what you're going to talk about, but
I think because I told you it was at one of the meditations that we were doing together, and all of us, and I had to stop in the middle of it, and because I had an idea, a song idea that
that was this morning.
That was this morning. Okay. Yeah. So I had this song idea, and it was a song idea that I was hearing I heard the full chorus for it, but then I was hearing Robby's part, which I don't know what the lyrics are to that part yet, but I was hearing Robby's voice, you know, in between what I'm doing. So I was like, oh, this is a Robby LaLa song. Okay. So, and I didn't want to lose it. And the Dr. Joe meditation was going on with the music. And so I'm like singing it over and over again in my head. And I had like the bass line, because it's really grooving. It's like dum dum da da dum da da dum dum. Anyway, so like it's really cool. And so I got that, and the whole thing, you know, just kind of downloaded. And so I'm like, I gotta record this. I gotta record this. So I had to leave the meditation for a minute to be able to record that so I wouldn't forget it. So yeah, it is. It's like a flow that we're in. And you know, we just want to keep creating together.
Because it keeps on happening. It just keeps on happening.
Because I'm going to say one thing off that flow. This is what's so cool about it, is that this flow is the flow to everything in your entire life, or my life, your life, Thor's life. It's just aligning and making sure we could have that flow with everything, right? Because all processes are the same, and we're moving in this flow right now, and we could surf like that within any flow within our entire life, and that's what's so freaking beautiful about it. It's so cool. It's so so freaking powerful.
It is, and it's hard to put words to sometimes of this energy that we feel creatively. It's like trying to put words to a Dr. Joe Dispenza event. I mean, it just is. It takes the energy off the charts, and this album does that in its own way, in a new way, in a different way, in a unique way, and you know, how would you? Because, like I've said, we're all on a healing journey, and in our own ways, doing our own things about our own stuff. And how would you say the creation of this album has helped you guys on your individual journeys?
You want to go first, or I'll go first?
You can go.
Let's see. So how has it helped me on my own journey? It's just, I mean, as you say that, I just envision this constant flow of a blossoming flower, as you say it. It's honestly, it's what I needed personally as we made it. It was my vehicle through hard times as this music was going on. And I think it kept me on my balance when I needed it, to be honest with you. And it was beautiful. The placement of making our music is exactly when I needed it. And individually, you know, and it impacted me so much to kind of take it back to what we were just talking about, flow, where just let everything happen, and it just happens.
Yeah,
It,
yeah.
everything happens exactly as we're talking it if you just let it happen.
For me, it was also like the experience of creating this album. It was I don't want to say a stretch, because it didn't feel hard to do, but it was just, like something new and a creative, a really cool way to creatively flex in another direction.
Yeah, I like that.
That
I like
that
that.
I haven't really done before. And so it's a growth experience for me,
Which is how we change, is by doing something different.
right. And the other thing that it was an awesome growth experience for me too, because it forced me also to get really, I've been doing, like background vocals on on demos and stuff like that for other producers in Nashville. And so I've done, things here in my home studio. I'm sitting at it right now.
I thought that was going to be a cat.
No, but anyway, so but it really like got me in the flow of that too, because I did all of my vocals. I was able to sit here right in my home studio and get that stuff done, and in my own environment. And it was a good learning experience for me too, with working in Logic, which is
technologically,
it's the digital audio workspace that it's like Pro Tools, if any of you have heard of that. It's just it's the software that I utilize to record in. And so it was just a good like overall learning experience, and just growing, learning, healing, fun. So many, and then bring Ryan into the mix, and what Robby and Ryan did with the love sensory experience. It just took it to a whole different level that I never would have imagined on my own. And I just feel like I'm going along for the ride, because it's been so amazing. And I wouldn't have gotten to experience this truly if Robby and I had not gone down this road of making this album together. So so it's been really amazing in that regard. And then to have, to be doing it within this community and be embraced by this community. That's amazing. Because the other thing too is that like I have, Robby and I both have our own stuff that we've done separately leading up to this. And I'm sure we'll continue to do. Like I'm going to keep making music and recording, solo projects, and, maybe more quartet projects with my jazzy friends. So, it's something that has been a really great learning experience for me. And it's because we've done it within this amazing community that's embraced us. It's it's really grown our audience too, as individual artists and creatives.
And you guys have felt a lot of love during the making of Love.
We have a lot of love and support.
Yeah,
which I'm so grateful for.
Yeah, with what LaLa is saying about the community, that's the most important part to me, because we're not, every single person that's going to own this, we will know who they are, and that's what's so cool. Because it doesn't take effort, it just takes love, and that's it. And it takes time to love, and that's why we planted this seed. Like this is like, we planted this seed 2 years ago before we even met LaLa. That's what's so freaking cool about this.
Yeah.
Community. We can't do this without our community, you know, and I don't want to do it without our community. You know, but our community is the world. Like we're spread all over the world. And like you said, if you want to sell 10,000 albums in the music industry, you got to reach out to 100,000 people. If we want to change the world and get 10,000 of these into the souls of all 10,000 divine beings, we only have to reach out to 10,000 people, because we understand we're building these relationships with people. We're not pitching music. We understand.
We're sharing an experience.
Yeah. And I think it's a language that we are looking for on our journey right now. You guys are speaking the language of love. You guys are speaking the language that we are looking for in order to heal. Within this community, because this is a healing community and an awake community. And so what you guys have done is speak a language that we all want to hear. It's what we've been looking for, and you guys have done it so well.
Thank you. And I do want to say this too, like it's not just it's the world too. Like our community, we're a big seed, right? The Dr. John is one of many of like, right?
Right.
And it's beautiful. I mean, we've all met so many great people in the last 2 years.
Oh, it's a blast. Yep, it is a blast. So how did you guys stay motivated to make this album because we all have ups and downs on our healing journey. We all have good times and bad times. We have dark nights of the soul. We have, things that get in the way. And over a year and a half, you guys have made an album with 15 songs, and you learned how to make kaleidoscopes.
When you're working with someone else, that's a really good motivator to get things done, because you have an accountability to each other. And because we enjoyed it so much, it didn't feel like work. We were, every time we would talk, we were just excited. Like if you could hear our phone conversations, it would just be us like bouncing back and forth and bouncing off of each other, and just really excited about it. And so I think that through the highs and the lows of what you're talking about that we all go through, our music that we created together was almost like a respite from that. It was it's been healing for I don't want to speak for you, Robby, but I think I am speaking for you when I say it's been healing for both of us to do this together.
Yeah, big time.
I love that.
And experience it together. So I look forward to making more.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. Beyond belief. And I'd say
it's funny because when I get a song idea now and I'm recording it or whatever, I'm usually thinking to myself, is this a LaLa song or is this a Robby and LaLa song?
We got like 10 songs that we're already working on in the background. We haven't even looked at them in like 3 months because of the promotion and the marketing stuff.
And some songs, I have ideas for some songs that I'm like, oh, okay, I've got this whole song laid out in my mind, but I think there could be another version that Robby's on. I even have songs that I've already recorded that I think there could be another version that Robby can be on. What?
Right? Beach Bum, I think one of the songs.
Oh, Beach Buzz.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love that song. It's a great song.
I'll say like with the motivation, it's weird because like I said, like I was going through my darkest night, like one of my darkest nights of the soul during this whole process.
Yeah.
I made the best music I've made for myself is what came out of me through this process. And it's so crazy because if it was just rap, I wouldn't have wanted to done it or to do it.
Right.
The last thing you want to do is the first thing you should do, but there was no force behind it. There was like, I'm telling you, it was just pouring out of us. Like there was flow that was created with me and LaLa that was like, it got created before we started so we could move that way. You know, like it was, it's kind of like, I think, now I'm thinking out loud, is like when you build enough energy, you know, when you breathe, you build, you got breath, sorry, you got breath, and then you got energy. You want them to go together, like from 1 to 8, right? When you do your energy enough, I mean, for me, my energy was just chilling here. I didn't have to start from the beginning. My just locked and loaded. So it's like that work got done with me and LaLa before we started. That's why we just went running out the gate, because we just, dude, I'm telling you, one, it wasn't even a disagreement. It was more so just not the same vibe.
Right.
Like,
other than that, you guys were nailing it. You guys were on the same page.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm. Totally.
Well, what is next for you guys with this? When does this album come out? Do you guys know the date of this album release?
We do. So we were just update. It was going to be July 12th, but due to circumstances with distribution, we're going to be doing it July 26th.
Okay.
26, 2024. So yeah, we're gonna, again, it's gonna be available on all streaming platforms, but it will be available as a product, the full sensory experience, which is what we're gonna be packaging it is. So yeah, July 26th, we're gonna, you know, after, in the next week or so, me and LaLa and my sister are gonna put plans together for some digital release parties, some in-person release parties. Those are soon to come as far as dates, but that's what's coming up right now, is just the planning of the implementation to make sure that everybody who needs to feel this music, the breath work and the QuantumScopes, is going to, right? And it's just great because we know that we're timeout. I take that. We ain't doing anything. We are activating. We're not uplifting anyone. We're bringing people to a place where they can uplift themselves, heal themselves.
Yes.
That's what it is. So we're
just facilitating.
Correct.
And speaking of feeling, the QuantumScopes do not operate any heavy machinery.
Yeah.
Do not, literally, this morning we were doing Robby's QuantumScopes before, you know, the meditation this morning. And I had to get up to go use the bathroom in the middle of that. And I stood up and started walking, and I felt like I was on some kind of wild drug. And I was like, I had to like hold on to the wall for a second and stop, because it wasn't just like a, you know, oh my gosh, I'm dizzy. It was like, I was experiencing something.
The world was different.
It does release chemicals that you're not used to having, you know, released in your body. And, you know, I'm not inexperienced. I've done a lot of, you know, breath work and meditation, and still I, you know, have these experiences with it. So it's, yeah, it's something that you really do feel within your body. It's really powerful. It's really powerful medicine.
It is. And as we know, you know, the feeling is the healing. So feeling that elevated emotion is the healing. And, you know, we've all been on this healing journey. And I know for me, speaking for me, I've been at times running my head against the wall, banging my head against the wall over and over again, trying to get past the patterns that I've had for so long. And now, you know, doing something like this is activating cells in my body and helping me get beyond that, and helping release energy, and helping the healing process in such a beautiful way. It's magical. So I feel it. I definitely feel it. And
feel it.
I know that you've gotten feedback from people too, that people have been feeling it. So
and we were doing breath work with it too.
Yeah.
So it was, you know, the combination of that and the music and the QuantumScope together is like wowza.
Wowza. Yeah, for sure.
Funny story is on the wowza is so me and my sister, we recorded, so part of this package you're going to get a video. My sister's doing it live, not live, sorry, but professional video of her showcasing this so you can see the visualization of it. But anyway, originally I was going to do it next to her, but we didn't want to scare anyone away. What happened?
That was probably a good idea.
Yeah, because we did it in Cape Cod at the retreat this year, and we videotaped it, and I was like, I looked like my fingers were in the socket the entire time, all like the whole time. But again, it's great. That's what we want. We're breaking these up. We're breaking these beads up, right? But it was just very funny. I was like, yeah, I think you're on your own on this one, right?
Nice. So what's it like when you guys do this live? You guys have done this in Cape Cod and a couple places, right? What's it like doing it live?
It's pretty cool, man. Like it's again, it's kind of like it was test driving it, and then just to see everybody experience what I experienced, like us. Actually, no, LaLa, that was the first time you did it, right, in Cape Cod? Yeah, and
yeah, it's interesting because everyone's experience is different, but like when you're in the room with people, I mean, you can feel energy even when you're not in the room together, obviously, because we're all, tied together.
Yeah.
We're all one, but when you're in the room, it's just it's exponentially even, more powerful, I guess.
Yeah.
Collective energy, yeah.
Yeah, so it's definitely an awesome experience to share that energy in the same room.
Well, I look forward to doing this live with you guys at some point.
Well, that'll be October, early October, late September. We're going to do it.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, it sounds good to me. Doing it in the room in Cape Cod, like doing it with people, it was really fun because I wanted to make sure I could experience it, but at the same time, I did want to observe it. Observe anything really, but it was this is like a side note for self, just for everyone, is like, you think you want to do all this stuff alone because it's kind of embarrassing to look certain ways, but just trust and believe what I say. Everything's, but I will tell you this, it is not anything close to being in the same room with like-minded people doing breath work, meditating.
Yeah.
It's literally 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 + 1. You're just multiplying your energy when you're around like-minded people doing that stuff. And that's because I did the breath prior to that. That's why I was like, oh, I could do it on video. And then I did it with everybody in the room. I was like, that was way different than when I was by myself. So you feel the love and the energy when you do it with people. But yeah, you can practice. Yeah, with people.
Yeah, there's nothing like being in a room with people. That is the power. I love that. That is so fun. That is so fun.
It is. And what's cool is that this will be now the backbone of like doing the next retreats that we do, because this will be like doing these along as well as other things. But this is going to be like the focal of it, because now we see the impact of it.
Right.
And it's really powerful stuff. We're uncovering a lot as we go. We're rediscovering a lot as we go.
Yeah, absolutely. And is there anything else you guys would like to add? Anything else that we didn't talk about, or anything that you guys would like to add?
Well, one is a huge thank you, but I don't know if you could cut this out if you don't want it, because you're doing editing. Do you want to talk about when I'm coming to see you, and then we'll throw a retreat? Get that out there. Throw the fucking reality of it out there. We'll be doing a love.
Okay. All right. Bring it on. Cool. I guess the way to step into it is to say it. So say it.
All right. So yeah, I guess one thing I'd like to bring up is, so Thor and I are going to be doing a 5K in, the date's not definite yet, but it's going to be late September, early October. And from that, we invite everybody. We're going to throw a retreat too. We're going to throw a love retreat there. And
in the Pacific Northwest, in Portland, Oregon.
Portland, Oregon area. So all of our California West Coasters, just take the trip up. We're going to be there, and it's going to be so powerful. This is so cool. This is how things happen, right? Like with this, what we're just talking. So yeah, get ready for that. Thor and I are going to do a 5K together, and then after that, as a celebration, we're going to do a mini retreat.
And I got to say that you know, we talk about collaboration, right? You guys have been collaborating with music, and for me, knowing you guys and knowing Robby, who gets excited about things and says, "Hey Jim, let's go run a 5K." And the first thing that goes through my head is like, "Are you kidding me? I can't run." And then he says it again, and after like the 10th time, I'm like, "Huh, maybe I actually need to do something like this." And so, thank you, Robby, for having me step into running a 5K. So we are going to be. I am training this summer to be able to either, you know, I could be walking at that time, I could be running at that time, I could be out of my wheelchair at that time, or I could run the 5K in my wheelchair. I could roll the 5K. No matter what happens, I'm doing something different. I'm changing. I am experiencing and opening up doors and emotions. And so, yeah, bring it on. Let's.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to this 5K in the fall. It's gonna be a blast.
Celebrate with us. Yeah, it's gonna be powerful.
Oh, it just, well, I mean, just for me, having something on the books to a goal to aim for is always important for me. And so this just gives me
visualize.
Exactly. And
and feel.
visualize it, feel it, and feel into it. And that's how I heal. That's how we heal, is to feel it, feel the healing. So I'm really excited about that. And that's gonna be a blast. Thank you for bringing that up.
Me too. And one more thing, maybe even more, but one more on the top of my head that I want to make sure I mentioned, because we did mention your song earlier, but the music that's being made right now is being made that evolves not only just around love, life, and everybody that's being uplifted, inspired, or celebrating from their transition. So there's so much within this music, the energy within a song with what we did. There's so much behind all that. And one of them, I think we mentioned at the beginning, but one of them's you, man. One of them is Thor, one of the most motivational, inspirational songs with Ilka. This is separate from the Love album, but it's the same exact vehicle, different energy, but same thing. Like it just, like we did a meditation and then we did this song. 10 minutes later, we got a song together.
Yeah.
So thank you for your inspiration and for uplifting me and uplifting LaLa and just our community, bro. Like you are so important. So thank you so much. And that song, dude, let's fucking go. That song is Let's Fucking Go. The fucking hammer, bro.
Yeah, it's a great song, and that you know, as I kind of started talking about this at the beginning, we're stepping into the unknown right now. You know, we're doing things that we couldn't have imagined, and it's beautiful. And there was a picture of LaLa went to New York, you know, to do something in New York, and ended up being able to meet you, Robby, in studio. And so all of a sudden, I open up, I look at my chat or something one night, and I get a video of you and LaLa in studio recording the song Thor. So I hear my voice in studio. And so, I mean, I couldn't have thought about that. I couldn't have made that up. And all of a sudden I'm envisioning it. I'm feeling it. I'm seeing it. And that is healing. That is the healing, is that we were all together in that studio. And I have had visions of that over and over again since then, about doing that again, about collaborating with you guys and the possibilities that we don't even know are possibilities yet, because they're all out there.
Well, you just planted the seed. We got a LaLa.
Let's do it.
Yep.
Yeah. And you know what's cool too about what you just said is, like, in the studio that you just heard your voice in.
Yeah.
Kiss recorded in that studio. Cher recorded in that studio.
Oh, wow.
I believe Bon Jovi recorded in that studio. So it's just really cool, man.
And I have never been a part of recording, so that was cool for me.
Yeah, cool stuff.
LaLa, is there anything you'd like to add? Anything that we didn't talk about that you'd like to share?
No, but I do want to just say thank you from the bottom of our hearts for having us on your podcast. And it truly is just an honor to know you and to be on this journey with you guys, both of you. I'm just so very, very, very grateful. And I love you both.
I love you.
Man, I love you guys too. And the love that is in this community, the title of your album is just really what we are. And for me, again, on a personal note, I have been working on receiving more and opening myself up to love and opening myself up to, I've realizing that I've closed my heart down over the years for different reasons, being in survival mode and protecting and all that kind of stuff. And so to be able to feel like I'm feeling and be able to participate in an album called Love is so healing I mean, I know we've talked about it, but it's something different for me. It's a way to open up my heart that I didn't have before. And this podcast, like you guys are saying, you're saying motivated to write songs together. I made a date like a week ago. I was like, okay, my next podcast is with Robby and LaLa. And I put this on the calendar, and knowing this was here to do, it really motivated me to get a lot done in the last week. And I did things that I wouldn't have done otherwise. And I did some things in order to get myself here that I wouldn't have done. And I'm so grateful for that I can't even express it. And I did this podcast differently than I've ever done before. This is my 30th podcast. I've been doing podcasts for 10 years now, which is mind-blowing. And I've done 30 episodes, so they've been infrequent. But this one I did without overthinking it. And I just trusted. And I trusted because I love you guys and I know you guys and you're my friends. And I know that it's just a conversation. And so I went into this without overthinking it, which is such a gift for me to be able to do, because that's how I want to live my life. I've spent a lot of time overthinking, and, keeping the energy to myself and keeping it here is a beautiful thing. And so this has been a very, very amazing experience too. So just lots of gratitude all the way around.
Whew.
Thank you.
I'm buzzing right now. I'm not lying. I'm lit up right now with love.
Yeah, I know. And it does, it spreads and it's fun. And it's awesome.
It is.
And
yeah.
also to end, love, it is an emotion, but it's way more than just an emotion. That's the self-discovery about this project. Like, it's not, love is way more than what you think it is. And I can't wait. If you haven't heard it yet, like, you're going to understand that you always knew what it was, but it's way bigger than, it's way more than we've been led to believe. It. It's really powerful.
Well, and when you go through this full sensory experience, I can speak from experience that you will realize that you are much bigger than you think you are. You are stepping into who you truly are and who you divinely are, and your divine being. And the words, the emotion, the colors, the texture of everything, it just really escalates our beingness, which is no small feat. It's no small feat to make an album like that. So Robby, how can people get a hold of you? Can you share your details?
Sure. So email is, Robby is Robby. Okay, so it's Robby Blair Music at gmail.com. That's my email address. Instagram is at Robby Blair Awakened 31. And yeah, that's it. Yeah, and then if anybody, for WhatsApp, if you're looking to meditate, email me. Yeah, we're all part of a group of, I don't know what it is combined with the groups, but a lot of people, and we meditate frequently. So if anyone's interested after hearing this podcast, just reach out to me, reach out to Thor, reach out to LaLa. It doesn't matter. That'll just get it done. But just understand, this is a community of love and growth, and we invite everyone that is like-minded, that understands what this is all about, right?
So, for sure.
Yeah, that's my Instagram handle. And Robby Blair QuantumScopes, at Robby Blair QuantumScopes, if you just want quantum.
Is that also Instagram?
Yes.
Okay. LaLa, how can people get a hold of you?
Well, I am LaLa Pop Music on Instagram, and LaLa Deaton Music on Facebook. And you can reach me via email at either laladeatonmusic@gmail or lalapopentertainment@gmail.
And also for LaLa's music, and my music, Robby Blair on iTunes, Spotify, all that stuff, and LaLa Deaton on iTunes, Spotify, and YouTube.
Perfect. That was my next question. Well, you guys, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for being here. Thank you for, the gratitude is immense. It's a deep ocean of gratitude for you both. And I'm just thankful to have you guys in my life and be on this journey with you both. So thank you for being here. And I look forward to, this is really just the beginning. I feel like this is the beginning of so much more. So I look forward to everything to come. Thank you guys.
Thank you. Love you, man.
Thank you, Thor. Love you so much.
Love you guys. Love, 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 right? That's what it's all about. Love.
Yes.